right, peoples, good morning. I owe you a Ybit catch up for a couple of days. So here is Ybit. Let's dive in here and look at it. So over the last few days, it's gone down a little bit, up a little bit, nothing major, right? So on 8/16, it closed at 1444 in Ybit. Then on Monday, we went to 1442 and then back to 1444. So been relatively flat. Now, those of you that saw 820, we were up quite a bit pre-market and at the open. And then, boy, Bitcoin just sold off, dragging, BITO, Ybit, Misty, Coney. It actually was good for Misty and Coney. I don't recall Ybit if they went by intraday their weeklies, but boy, it saved, the sell-off saved Coney, Coin, and certainly Misty with MSTR because they were going to run right by their weeklies and get killed. Now, they could be higher. We wanted, for instance, and I'm going to do it, the video, but we wanted MSTR below 138 by Friday, and it was opening at 140. I think it was up into 141. So closing back at something like 133 is actually positive. All right, so on Ybit, that's what happened on Ybit. So on BITO, the underlying, it was at 1945, pulled back on Monday to 1920, and then rallied up to 1935. So, kind of a different take. I mean, clearly down on Monday and up on Tuesday. But it was down a lot more on Monday than Ybit was, and then up more than Ybit was on Tuesday. All right, so any trades put on? Yes. There were a synthetic closeout because look at the share count. We had 450,000, we dropped to 4,450,000 to 4,300,000, so it was down 150,000. So let me get
whether you have a 64-bit system or a 32-bit.
Okay, so I've got the sheet to show you guys. If I can get the right one. Yeah, let me paste it into a standalone sheet so you're not looking at other stuff. I'll have that for you in just 1 second. Drug over here. Okay, so here's what it looked like. They typically, they will buy back, but they didn't. They just sold, so they put on an additional set with the money of synthetics, or actually it shouldn't say with the money. They've had money in there to do this, so they added 1,500 by selling, or I'm sorry, boy, I did this right in the synthetic and I started to explain it wrong. Okay, so when they get shares taken out, they have to sell something. So they did, even though it lost them money. So normally, if they put on 1,500 additional contracts, they would have been buying the call and selling short the put. So they didn't do that. They sold the call and bought it to close. And it was out to 9/20. They're still on their 28 synthetic, but they're out till September 20. And then they sold. Whoops, this says buy to close 1,500 for 12. Okay, then I made a mistake on that, so I will fix that. They sold nothing here. So let's take this off and let's go to our 20. And so that means I've got to break this up. Bear with me for a second. you'll see what has to happen. So this 33,130, so the number I want here is 1,500. Whenever you buy something back, you know, and it's one big item like this and you paid a certain amount, then you have to go create double entries, right? So this becomes less 1,500 for the quantity. And now we can close this position out at the 12 cents and carry it across here. And we actually didn't lose money because we had sold that guy for 34,000, just the 1,500 of it. And then, but that changes our gain or loss. And then I need to change the running total. Yeah, there we go. All right, I put it in the wrong place. On the synthetic, I did it correctly. Okay, so you had three items. You know, these can oftentimes be buy a call, sell short a put, and then sell short a call. But in this case, because they lost shares, 150,000 shares were sold out of the fund. So they needed to close out equivalent monies. So what did it look like on the synthetic? It looked like this. They closed it out at 11 cents, selling the call for 11 cents out till September, and then buying to close the put. So that resulted in a net loss of 1,446,000, the subtraction of these two numbers. And then carrying that down here, we had about 1.5 million, something like that. And so now we have a loss. So we had 1.5 million negative number or a gain. Now we have a slight loss. So that's how that played out. Let's go and look at the weeklies. So that lowered us from 33,130 to 31,630, remaining at the $20 call. So we're 3.36 out of the money. I'm sure in the intraday trading, we were up over 20 in BITO. So you're in a situation where that pullback helped saving the weekly call. So far, it doesn't mean that it doesn't bounce back up, but at least for Tuesday, it saved it. All right, let's go look at holdings because this gives us a lot more detail. I always tell you that. So this is our count, right? It's down 1,500. And we have a loss of 28, but we were up a tiny bit on BITO. And so therefore, if you go to my chart, you see that we've gone 25 million, 32 million, lost 30 and 28. And even though these were trading around the same price, they get less because we're getting closer to the 9/20 expiration. Here's the share count. We are now trading at 1444, and fair value, when you add everything together, says 1460. So we're actually 16 cents below what is considered net asset value. All right, and how are we doing on our weekly now that I was showing you that it's out? Well, we have a 32.61% gain. Now, what I'd like to do is have them get it to 80% and take it off the table on Thursday. You know, unless they're way, way below. But if they're only at 80%, take it off. No need to be a hero. All right, let's look at the damage done on payouts. Not a lot, but this turned, okay? We still have a 36-cent win here in our total. So that's not bad. This was a bigger number. Well, sorry, this is a short call. This was a bigger number before this went negative. We probably were around 60 cents total. And now, because this is negative, not much, a penny or two. So that's where we stand. We still have our 36 cents here, guys. We're still in the running to win this weekly, right? And not lose it, but it's only 3.36 away from $20. We're trading at 19.35 on the underlying. This guy is now, what did I say, 28 million. So it's hanging in there. All right, guys, that's what I got for you on Ybit. I'd like to see this thing stay below the $20 BITO strike price on the weeklies. All right, again, this is Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Have a great one. Bye for now.